Hey everybody, Jake here. Hope everyone's doing well today. I was not expecting to make this video today. I had something uh, completely different planned, and forgive me going in, I'm a bit under the weather, but Myles Garrett has officially requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. I'll read you guys his statement real quick. As a kid dreaming of the NFL, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl, and that goal fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio and the incredible fan base of the Cleveland Browns has made this one of the toughest decisions of my life. These past 8 years have shaped me into the man I am today. While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages will not allow me to be complacent. The goal was to never go from Cleveland to Canton. It has always been to compete for and win a Super Bowl. With that in mind, I have requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett. Well, this is brutal. This is a complete left field. This is completely out of left field because I actually thought that it was figured out for the most part between the front office and Myles Garrett, because I know Barry and Stefanski had talked to Myles after the season, and it seemed like they had sold him on the plan going forward for the Browns and what they were going to do to get back to competing. The Browns underwhelmed drastically last season, but it was mostly, at least in my opinion, it was because we were held hostage by Deshaun Watson. It's hard to get your footing and it's hard to win whenever you don't know who you have at quarterback. And just with him out of the room, it felt like the Browns were going to be in a better position going forward, and it felt like the Browns could compete. It's not like their roster isn't able to compete. They have a good team, in my opinion. And if they just had one good offseason, it feels like the Browns could get back into contention. But obviously, Myles Garrett does not feel that way, and he has now requested a trade from the Browns. I think with this news, this completely changes the Browns' plans going forward. If you're going to trade Myles Garrett, you're going to enter a full-blown rebuild. This isn't about competing anymore. This is about gaining assets, gaining draft capital, making this team younger, offloading some of the veterans on this team, and creating a winner over the next couple of years. If Myles isn't here, defensive, that's the heart of Cleveland right there on your team. That's the heart of the Browns. If he isn't here, I don't see how the Browns can compete. I don't see how the Browns can be a contender next year without Myles Garrett. So if this goes through, and it looks like it will, if the Browns actually trade Myles Garrett, the Browns plan has to shift to draft, this NFL draft, getting this draft right, taking the best available, and free agency now. I mean, that completely changes too, because I had said in my free agency video for the Browns that the Browns should bring in veterans. They should bring in guys that can help the Browns win now. Obviously, that changes now because the Browns likely will not be competing for anything crazy next year. So I think the plan shifts now to a rebuild. Let's get this quarterback situation figured out in the coming years. Let's draft the best guys that we can. Let's get some talent on this team, and let's rebuild this thing from the ground up. Just really sad, really sad. This is a really sad day if you're a Browns fan, really sad day for Cleveland because, like I said earlier, Myles is the heart of this city. We love him. And going forward, wherever Myles goes, he's always got a fan in me. It's a shame that this has all transpired this way. It's funny, whenever the Browns traded for Deshaun Watson, I remember I was at work, and when they had traded for him, I was I wasn't jumping up and down, but I was excited in the moment, even though Deshaun's a shitty human being. It was like, well, the Browns are going to have a winner. Like, they're going to bring this guy in, and we're going to be a good football team again. And years later, who would have thought that this would have been the fallout of that, and this would have been the result of that? You lose guys like Myles Garrett, and what does the future have for guys like Joel Bitonio and Nick Chubb and Wyatt Teller? What does the future hold for guys like that? So who would have thought that the Browns would be here just years after that? So as far as what does the package look like for Myles Garrett, if I'm Andrew Berry, anything less than 3 first-round picks is not going to suffice for me. I need young players. I need 3 first-round picks minimum. This is the best defensive player in the NFL. This is the best edge rusher in the NFL and the reigning defensive player of the year. So I don't want to hear anything less than that. If I'm the Browns, though, I'm doing everything I can to keep Myles Garrett. He went about as public as you could with this information. So, and with the trade request. So if I'm the Browns, I'm doing everything I can to stop this from happening. But this just feels like one thing after another for the Browns. So those are my early thoughts. That's my early reaction to this trade request for Myles Garrett. Just pretty gutted as a Browns fan. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think the Browns are going to do going forward, but how this affects their draft strategy, how this affects the future for them. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. Go Brownies, baby.